100 grams.
Tell us your name.
My name is Yasha Clark.
Yasha Clark, all right. So where are you from?
I am from New Orleans. I was born and raised here.
What part of New Orleans?
I'm from New Orleans East.
Okay.
Crowder exit.
So tell us a little bit about your childhood and overall, what was that like for you individually in your childhood?
My childhood was good. I had a really fun childhood growing up in New Orleans East. I was like middle class, so I played outside every day with my friends, went by my grandma's house in Michoud for the summertime, summer camp. Just, I think I had a very good upbringing, good memories.
Anything specific that stands out to you in your childhood that you can remember?
Specifically that stands out? I mean, Hurricane Katrina stands out, but I was 15 or 14 at the time, so that's my childhood, but it's like my early teens. Mm-hmm. So that stands out. That kind of changed the trajectory of my whole life.
Okay.
And I mean, everybody else's.
So in that regard, did you also have both parents in your household that you lived with?
No, I didn't. So my dad passed away when I was about 9 years old. And I grew up in a single family home. My mom raised me and my sister by herself.
How do you feel like that affected you?
I always had like the support of my dad's family and stuff. I don't think it negatively affected me. I think I still turned out pretty well.
All right, so what high school did you go to?
I went to the best high school in New Orleans, Warren Easton on Canal Street. Okay. I just actually delivered the keynote address to the junior class ring ceremony yesterday.
Awesome. So how was that experience?
It was so good. My heart was so full, just being back at my school. Like literally, I love my school. I have a lot of pride in my school. So just being asked to come back, it really felt so good.
All right, so apparently you went to college, just by you explaining about that. So what college did you go to, and how was that experience?
So my college experience was different from normal. Well, I mean, everybody's college experience is different, right? But it wasn't the normal college experience. So I initially started out at Southern University in Baton Rouge, and I only went there for one semester. I ended up like dropping out in the spring semester, and coming back to New Orleans. I came back to New Orleans for a while, and I ended up transferring. I moved to Houston. I went to U of H, and I didn't do any type of on-campus activities or anything. Like I literally was going to college and going to work and just working, taking care of myself. So I graduated from U of H in Houston.
So what made you take that route instead of usually like people go and be so, want to experience this and that and this and that? What made you kind of just stick to and focus and go to work, go to school, go to work, go to school and do that?
Well, it wasn't like a decision that I made. I actually wanted to, enjoy like a typical campus college experience, but I had to work. I took care of myself. So whenever I graduated from high school, I was like 16 or 17. I had just always took care of myself. So I had to work, pay my rent, pay my bills as a teenager. So.
All right. So what motivated you or inspired you to go to law school?
So really, I'm the first person in my family that graduated from high school. So that felt good for my family to be able to experience that. Then when I graduated from college, obviously I'm the first person in my family to graduate from college. So I initially, like in high school, wanted to go to dental school. I wanted to be a dentist. So, I mean, I did want to help people. I know a lot of people say, I went to law school to help people, but like I really did want to help people. And that path just kind of aligned for me, I think it was just kind of like God's doing, really.
So it wasn't this thing where you were young and I want to be a lawyer. It was more so your life guided you into that path, and since you wanted to help people, it kind of just made its way to you.
Yeah, and it's fitting. It's very fitting for me.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your law firm then.
So my law firm, it is a personal injury firm. I focus in civil litigation. So anytime somebody's hurt at the hands of somebody else that's negligent, so car accidents, bus accidents, truck accidents, like slip and falls, premises, if you fall down the stairs or anything like that, I help people recover compensation for their damages, for their injuries, really.
So when did you actually start that and kind of get into the, if you can, like get into like how difficult or easy it is to kind of structure your law firm and what you want to do and how you figure out even what type of lawyer you want to be?
Yeah, so initially, like right after law school, when I passed the bar, I worked at the juvenile court as a staff attorney. And I mean, it was a great opportunity, right? A lot of people don't get those opportunities right out of law school, but it wasn't fitting, and it just wasn't me, you know? I mean, I enjoyed being there. I enjoyed working with the kids and working in the system, but it wasn't for me. So I actually got a better opportunity at a firm, a personal injury firm, probably like the biggest personal injury firm in the state. And that's where I just learned all of the skills. And then that's where I seen I could do it myself, you know? Because I always wanted to be my own boss. So that's where I seen I could do it myself. I mean, I have what it takes. I have the skills, like I'm knowledgeable. And that's how it took me, because I actually got fired from that firm. So that was like another kind of thing that I'd say that God aligned for me, because it's not something that I planned, but it's something that just happened.
So talk about how that part, because it seemed like it was pivotal when you said, you know, I got fired from there.
For sure.
So talk about that experience and now the fact that you are your own boss and you have that to lean on and you know what you got to do. Was that the fire that motivated you to start to do that, or you know, what were you going through at that time?
For sure. So it really was the fire that motivated me. Like, I got fired on my birthday. On my birthday. So I was like distraught. I was crying. I was sad because I had never got fired. And like everywhere I go, like usually, or everywhere I worked, people like, you know, love me. I'm cool with people. But this environment was different. And had I let it, it probably could have like made me less motivated. You know, it could have like, I don't know, made me angry and made me upset, vindictive, whatever. But the situation obviously showed me, like, it really was God showing me what I can do. Like, what you can have, you can do this. You just got to put the work in. You know, essentially, like, I didn't need them. So
instead of it derailing you and putting you on another path, another worse path or negative path, you chose the way to, you know, to really put together your own thing, which I think is great.
Thanks.
Okay, next question. So what can we look forward from you in your future?
So in my future, the future of the Clark firm, I mean, obviously I plan to expand. I already hired an attorney. I hired some support staff. So I just plan on being a person that, like, the Black community, like younger kids can look up to and see that, you know, literally they can do the same thing, if not come work with, you know, with my team. So I just see myself expanding into different states, programs in the city and high schools, just doing all I can. And I also see myself doing a lot of like client appreciation events and give backs and stuff like that.
So I'm gonna skip a few questions because you mentioned about the youth. So what, if you could go back in time to speak to your younger self or the youth in general, what would you say to them?
I would say to push past obstacles. Really, that's something that I always told myself. I experienced like high amounts of like difficult situations, I feel like, as a child. So I always had to tell myself, like, keep going, like it'll all be worth it in the end, you know, don't give up, push past obstacles. So that's what I would tell kids, like, just keep going, like nothing worth having comes easy, like you really have to work hard, nothing comes easy, so just keep working, keep pushing past obstacles.
So in your opinion, what makes New Orleans, New Orleans?
New Orleans. What makes New Orleans, New Orleans? The first thing that came to my head is the swamp water. I don't know why, but like, just literally it's a place like no other. The food, the people, the culture, obviously, the sayings, the slang, the our accents, like everything.
Can you think of a story from New Orleans that will only be a New Orleans experience that you've had?
I have plenty. I'm trying to think of a good story, like a positive story. Only in New Orleans.
Took me a while to think about mine too.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some.
Talk about like the high school days, like you and your friends. Like y'all have to have a good experience or something that only KOQs.
Dang, that's crazy because this is the only question that Devin told me, and now I'm like, I don't know.
3 weeks a day.
It's so many things.
There's so many things. Like,
it's
when
like
you think
every
about
day you live in New Orleans, you see something, you be like, wow. So,
Well, so I'm gonna give you a chance to think about that, but I do want to ask you a question. Like in society now is like, you know, females are so catty and just like changing friend groups. Can you talk a little about like the long-standing friendships that you have had with your friends?
Yeah, so for sure, my friends obviously are my sisters. I always call them my sisters. I refer to them as my sisters. They're really like my blood. So we're all connected, like, you know, and it's that relationship that you need with your girls. Like, they were there for me when I just got married. They took me on a bachelorette trip. Like, we always there for each other. And I met the earliest friend in my friend group that I still have. I met in elementary school, so she kind of connected all of us together. And I mean, we just been rolling ever since. Literally, they're my family, and it's very important. Like, you need that. It's like a love like no other, honestly.
Do you, I mean, I don't know too much about it, but even jumping onto that, how important do you feel like that is, like even with, you know, pushing into going into next levels? Do you feel like you will be in the same place without having those type of friends around you?
Maybe not. It's hard to gauge, but I mean, they definitely play a pivotal role in, you know, every milestone in my life. Every time I needed them, like when I'm down, when I was homeless, like literally I lived with my friend Bree, and her family. Her family took me in, so like I always tell them I can never repay them. That's one name, but wait, I wanted to add that, you know, and then we all use each other's resources, right? So like, we all need each other, and it's just always good to have somebody that you can fall back on. They don't judge you, like you don't have to worry about any of that, you know. And it's not a bad thing to always have like new friends. People will be saying no new friends and all of that kind of stuff, but I mean, I definitely grasp new friends. You never know, you know, you might still need and foster and build that same relationship like as the relationships that you've been had. But yeah, that's my girls.
Oh, you
got your New Orleans story yet or no?
Maybe something happened like when y'all was together one time too.
Well, only in New Orleans would my friend Kiara used to get a bike every Christmas for Christmas, right? She used to get a bike every year, and the next day, it was stolen. Every year for Christmas.
know what? She said, I was trying to think of something positive.
And then y'all brought up that, so I'm like, okay. Every year, I'm not playing. The next day,
All in
all
New
in
Orleans.
New Orleans. But no, I'm gonna think of another story. The other day, I was standing in front of the daiquiri shop, and a guy dressed in full Joker costume was just walking up Louisiana, and I was like, only in New Orleans.
Only in New Orleans.
Like, where you going? Dressed as the Joker.
All right, you guys, anything else?
Like where they can find it.
All right, yeah. So tell everybody where they can find you, about your business or just your socials within itself.
Yeah, so to learn more about my services and the Clark firm, you can go to www.justcallyasha.com. And I'm on Instagram at Miss_Yasha, Yasha, and Just Call Yasha, JustCallyasha.
Perfect.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Only in New Orleans.